Full family Twitch. Whee! Everyone's getting involved today. We're at Ynys Hir in Cardigan, Mid Wales, by the coast. And Liv can't get a seatbelt off. Time for a Twitch. So as our first family Twitch, we decided to go to Ynys Hir Nature Reserve near Machynlleth and challenge ourselves with as many bird species we can see and I can photograph or take video of in 2 hours. We didn't think we'd get all the kids to concentrate much longer than that. Around the visitor centre alone, we had a lovely view of a great spotted woodpecker on the bird feeders. We also got goldfinch, chaffinch and pheasant. After this, we picked one of their 3 trails, this time the blue trail, and went out to find some birds. Woo-hoo. Walking on the blue trail. On the way to the first hide, we did see a blackbird and a few house sparrows. When we arrived at the first hide, the first thing we saw was some horses. Emily loved this. Following that and setting up the scope, we did see some birds, some near and some far. This included a lovely little grebe fishing, both our resident Canada geese and our winter visiting barnacle geese. There were some crows feeding among the grass, and there were also quite a number of teal. We did see a few other birds. Amongst these were a lovely stone chat and a female goldeneye. So first hide on the blue trail. Whee! There's quite a few there. We got barnacle geese, Canada geese, all sorts of other stuff, swans, teal.
Canadian geese.
Yeah, stone chat, swan, mallard. We got a few. We're on to the next hide now. We set off towards the second hide. After a slight wrong turn, we found this hide and looked out. This looked out on the same piece of water as the first hide, so we didn't see many other new species. Although we did see a lovely little egret and 2 red kites flying, which is always a treat. At this point, the wind had picked up and the skies started to darken, so we headed to the third and final hide on this trail. Second hide on the blue trail, we got red kites. What else did we get out of that hide?
1 red kite.
Oh, 2 red kites. A little egret.
I think you're right. I think you could.
Well, let's try and find the next hide. With a lovely view of what looked like a castle in the distance, we looked out onto the river estuary. There were quite a few birds here, a few wading birds and ducks. There were about half a dozen oyster catchers feeding along the shore. There was a large number of mallard ducks. These birds were roosting on the bank in groups alongside the very numerous teal. In the distance was a lovely redshank. There were also a few gulls, a handful of herring gull, and I also spotted Europe's biggest gull, the great black-backed gull. This hide was very fruitful for birds. The landscape was really pretty. The peace was only broken by a train passing through this scenery. As we continued our search for more species, we had a lovely view in the distance of a few widgeon feeding on the far bank. Closer to us, there was a godwit feeding and a curlew feeding right in front of us on the near bank. And another little egret trying its very best to stay upright in the wind. At this point our time was pretty much up, so we headed back towards the car. Third hide done, some extra birds. We've got a curlew, redshank, godwit, oyster catchers, some cool stuff. I think we're going to call it a day now. As the skies were getting darker and darker, we headed towards the visitor centre. As we got back to the visitor centre, the bird feeders had become a little busier, and we saw some more pheasants, the ever-present robin, great tit, blue tit, and looking over onto a piece of water, I noticed a lovely great white egret. This was a fantastic bird to end our family bird watching session. Back in the car after our Twitch, we got a load of birds. We'll have to count them up and you'll see the results at the end of the video. Quite a few different ones.
We got badgers.
Everyone have a good time.
Yeah! We got badgers.
We all got badgers. It's all cool. We did the blue trail at Ynys Hir. At the end of this 2-hour challenge, we'd seen 30 different species of birds. But most of all, We'd all had a great time. RSPB Ynys Hir was a lovely reserve, although I would like to go back to walk the other 2 trails. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and please subscribe. See you soon.